All right, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Um, First of all, Happy New Year's. Congrats on being alive to be able to see 2025. Just want to say that we got to make sure we pray and thank God for even being alive to be able to be here, to even watch this video, to be able to enjoy life the way we do. Let's just be grateful for that. So this is my first video for the year. And I was contemplating on what should be my first video for the year. I was all over the place. I was like, what is going to be my first video? But I honestly just thought about this topic today. And I'm going to make a video about it today. Even though I have a list of other topics, I'm going to hit this topic today. And the topic today is going to be, is it bad to be a good person? Right? Is it bad to be a good person? That is the question. Is it bad to be a good person? In all honesty, I can speak for myself. I think I'm a good person, right? I think I put a lot of good, positive energy out there. I think I do some good things for people, and I do good things on my end to help people in so many ways, either emotionally, physically, mentally. I've helped people in so many ways. And that's just who I am. I'm a kind-hearted, good person. Of course, I've done my bad things, the things that I know is not the best, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not perfect, and I don't pretend to be perfect. I don't even pretend to be a Christian, right? I'm just a person that I try to be a better version of myself all the time. And I just try to be a good role model for my kids and try to be who I say that people should be, right? These videos that I make, try to be that person, right? And of course, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to be that person all the time, but I want my default to be this: living in integrity, being good to people, just have a certain things as standard, which is good things. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a good person, but I'll tell you where the issue comes in is when you're a good person to a person that don't appreciate you. I want you to listen to that. There's nothing wrong with being a good person, but being a good person to a person that don't appreciate you. Being nice, being sweet, supportive, loving towards a person that doesn't appreciate the things that you're doing for them. You can get up and do everything for them, and no matter what you do for them, they still find a way to treat you poorly. They still find a way to show you they don't appreciate you. They still find a way to be mean to you, be spiteful to you, vindictive to you. And in all honesty, you have to think to yourself, why is the person doing that? Why is the person doing that? Why are you being so good to this person and this person is treating you so poorly? In your mind, you're thinking that if I treat the person well, they're going to they're going to treat you well, right? And you're thinking that the more you treat them better is the more they're going to treat you better. But that's not how life works. That's not how it works at all. It might work like that for some people that really have a heart, self-conscious, and is really trying to be good with other people. Yes, you could be good to some people and they'll be good back to you, because that's who their character is, that's who they are. But not everybody is like that. And when you're a good person, sometimes you try to see the best in everyone, right? You try to see, you're trying to have this mindset that everybody's just a good person. But in all honesty, that's not life. It's not real. You literally set yourself up for failure if you think that everybody that you're around, everybody that you see that comes around you, that's in your circle, in your possession, that you could touch, is good people. And honestly, sometimes you're going to learn the hard way. And sometimes it takes for you as a good person to get slapped in your face a bunch of times for you to realize that there's nothing wrong with being a good person, but sometimes you're being a good person to the wrong person. Sometimes you're giving your energy into something or somebody that doesn't deserve it. Sometimes you're being supportive, loving, and sweet to a person that don't appreciate it. And it's like, how do you balance that? As a person that's a good-hearted person that love to do things for people, love to support people and help people and all that stuff, how do you balance that? How do you balance being this good person and actually being able to set boundaries to where people that don't appreciate this good person don't get to take advantage of that good person? Because I can tell you from personal experience, I've went through that. You know, I've went through that a multitude of times where I'm just this good person, and because the person knows that you're a good person, they would do things to you to be mean, to be spiteful, to be vindictive, to break you down, and then in the same breath ask you for a favor. In the same breath want you to be there for them, to support them, to help them. And it's like, what happens when you do it? Well, what happens when you do it is you're enabling the bad behavior. You're enabling the person to keep treating you that way because you're thinking to yourself that this person's being mean to me. If I could combat it and be good to them, then they would look at what they're doing and come back and be good to you. But what happens when you're good to them, they take your good, take advantage of it, and bring back the bad, and they don't pour back into you. What happens to you? Basically, you're enabling the bad behavior, and you're letting this person keep doing this thing over and over, and you're basically training this person how to treat you. You're training this person that it's okay to treat me that way, and I still be good to you. I still help you. I still support you. And it's like, at some point, you have to get to that point where you said, no more. No more. Because if you don't put your foot down and say no more, what's going to end up happening? You're going to always get the shitty end of the stick. You're going to always get the shitty end of the stick because you're going into something with a good heart. And you're hoping that the person that you're doing it for will do it back. Or even if you're not doing things with the mindset of receiving something back, you do it with the mindset of, I'm going to be good to you, you be good to me. I'm going to be nice to you, you be nice to me. I'm going to be polite to you, you be polite to me. Now, what I don't want you to do is, because you've been a good person to the wrong person, I don't want you to now not be a good person anymore. That's not what I'm telling you to do. There's nothing wrong with being a good person. Being a good person is a great thing. Pretty sure Jehovah, God is, Jesus is somewhere just happy to know that you're putting positive energy out there. You're being a good person because that's what he wants you to be. He wants you to be a good person because if you go to heaven, or if this earth turns to paradise, that's what you were expecting. So for everybody to live good with each other, to be good with each other. But what you got to realize that right now you live on earth and you live in an imperfect world. You live in an imperfect world. You live in a world where things are not perfect, and Satan does exist. And not everybody has a heart like you, not everybody that has a mindset like you. So once you acknowledge that and you take that into account, then you say, you know what? I could be that person, which you're going to be that person if you make it to heaven, or you're going to be that person if you make it to paradise, right? But you can't be that person on earth in this real world with everyone. And what I mean by that is, you're going to be good to people, respectful to people, period, right? So if you realize that the person that you've been doing stuff for, helping out, supporting, and doing all these things for, you realize the person doesn't appreciate you, then you start to distance yourself from that person. Not telling you to be mean to the person or be nasty or curse at them or nothing like that. You know, don't start being vindictive and spiteful. Don't start doing the things they do to you, because then that makes you no better. You're just like that person. You still want to be a good person. But when you realize that person that you're being good to doesn't appreciate the kindness that you're giving them, because remember, you don't have to be kind to them. It's something that you are doing because that's who you are. But when you realize the person doesn't appreciate it and you realize the person taking advantage of you, it's for you to start now taking yourself away from that situation. Because what end up happening is If you continue to allow the person to do it, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You have nobody to blame but yourself. Eventually, you stop blaming the person for what they're doing to you. You have to blame yourself for what you allow the person to do to you. I want you to really think about what I just said. At some point, you cannot blame the person for what they're doing to you. You have to blame yourself for allowing them to do it to you. Because you cannot stop another person from doing what they're doing, but you could stop certain things from being done to you, meaning you can distance yourself from it. You can acknowledge how they are and stop being around this person. Or if you realize it's getting to a certain place, you just stay quiet and you know how to not come out of this space, which is your comfortable space, right? Your peaceful place. You're not kind of come out of there, and just be mindful of how much times you're engaging with the person, how much times you're being around the person. Just try to avoid them as much as possible. You're going to be cordial when you see them. Hey, how you doing? But that's it. We don't have to be best friends. You could love people from a distance. Everybody that you love and care for does not have to be right next to you. You don't have to talk to them every day. You don't have to be around them every day. You don't have to spend time with them all the day. No, it doesn't. You don't have to do that. You can literally say, you know what? You're cool peoples, but you're cool peoples over there. We don't need to be cool peoples right next to each other. Be cool peoples over there, and I'll give you your respect, your props, whatever it is. Because for me, I'm always going to tell you to always be respectful towards people. Even if people are being disrespectful to you, don't combat and do what they're doing and be disrespectful too. Be respectful. They're being disrespectful, you be respectful, and you just take it for what it is and you walk away. Be respectful, period. That should be your standard across the board. Being respectful should be standard across the board. It doesn't matter who it is, just be respectful. It could be your boss, it could be your spouse, it could be your friend, it could be your ex, it could be whoever it is. Just learn to be respectful to everyone. And just understand that not everyone is going to think like you. And that's okay that everyone does not think like you. But it's not okay for people to mistreat you. It's not okay for people to take advantage of you. It's not okay for people to talk down to you. And it's not okay for people to take advantage of you. Right? That's where you have to draw the line and set your boundaries. And I've struggled with that. I have struggled with that because in my mind, I'm like, there's no way it could be this bad. There's no way this person could be this bad. Like, there's no way that I could keep being this good to this person and this person keep being so bad to me. There's no way. In my mind, I'm like, there's no, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. But in all actuality, it does. When you really start to reflect on yourself, it does make sense. It does make sense. Why would the person change if they realize you're okay with being treated like that? Think about it. Why would that person change from how they treat you if you're okay with the way they're treating you? If you've shown that it doesn't bother you, or even if it does, you does show that it bothers you, you're not doing anything about it. You're not making no drastic changes, or you're not putting up no boundaries, no walls, no nothing. You're not setting no boundaries at all to make them know, I'm not okay with this. So why would they stop doing it? If you work at a job and the boss keep talking to you a certain way, if you don't say nothing and put your foot down, he's going to keep talking to you that way. Once he does it 1 or 2 times and he realizes he could get away with it, he's going to keep doing with it. He's going to keep doing it. And that's what I realized with people that like to take advantage. Once they realize they could get an inch of doing something, then they keep going. Now it turns into 2 inches, 3 inches, and now they keep going because it's like, oh, shoot, I can actually slap this person in the face. They look at me and smile, and they keep going like nothing happened, and I can slap them again. At some point, you're going to get to a point where you stop getting slapped. It's like a person in an physical abusive relationship. It's like you have some people that could take years of you beating on them. And then eventually their cup gets full and it flows over. And then just like that, they snap. And just like that, everything goes down the drain. And that's the thing, that you don't want to get to that point. You don't want a person to beat on you so much that you get to a point of no return. Because at the end of the day, mental health is a thing, right? And anxiety is a thing. Stress is a thing. All these things are very common. And a lot of it, we can avoid it. But it's just for us to understand when things are happening and try to minimize it as much as possible, right? So imagine you're in a relationship and somebody's physically beating on you every single day. Eventually, you get tired of getting hits, and eventually you're going to fight back. Everybody has a limit. So somebody's limit might be 2. Another person's limit might be 500, 50, 20. Everybody's limit is different. Everybody's tolerance level is different, right? But eventually, I'm hoping that you do catch on like, hey, this person doesn't mean me well. Let me get out of this situation. You know, that's the best bet to do, is get out of the situation, not to actually hit back. It's just like, yo, let me get out of the situation, because now when you hit back, it just makes it worse, because now y'all both hitting. So you don't want to get to that point of no return. So for me, I have no problem with being a good person. I'm going to continue to be a good person, because there's such a great benefits from being a great person, right? One, you know it's good in God's eyes, right? That's one. 2, when you're good to people that appreciate it, you never know, later on down the line, you might need help, you might get stuck on the street, whatever it is. And people would be there for you because you're a good person. For example, I just flew out of MacArthur Airport in Long Island the other day, and there was a guy that used to work at JFK. Cool guy. You know me, period. I'm respectful to people. Good morning, good evening, how you doing, stuff like that. That's just me, period. And I went there, and I'm flying out, and the guy saw me, and instant smile. He's like, hey, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. You know, like, big smiles. I felt so welcomed to be there. And, you know, I greeted him. This is my first time flying my own airline from out of that airport. So I didn't know what to do. You know, I literally drove my car and parked like 5 minutes away from the airport and took an Uber. And I got to the airport, and I'm there. I'm talking to him. Then I saw another female that I know, and they like greeted me, and they smiling, and they like, oh my God, where you going? I felt so good. And then I told the guy, you know, I parked my car, such and such. And because I've always been this good person with people, he looked at me and said, yo, the next time you're traveling, let me know. I was like, wow, what's up? He's like, here goes my number. Next time, call me. And when you're traveling, you could park in our parking lot. I was like, I could do that? He was like, trust me, I got you. You could park in my parking lot the next time you're flying out. And you know how that made me feel? It made me feel so good, because imagine if I was a really nasty person to this guy. I would have came to the airport, and he would have told all his co-workers, like, oh, I remember this guy from JFK. He's a nasty guy. Nasty attitude. He's rude. But I took my flight, went where I was going, came back. And when I came back, guess who I saw again? Same dude again. And I'm sitting there getting ready to get off the plane. I started helping them clean the plane, because that's what you're supposed to do as a standby customer, right? You're supposed to help them clean the plane. And while I'm cleaning the plane and he saw me, he smiled and he said, how was your trip? I was like, it was great, man. It was good to get away from the cold, get in the sun for a little. He was like, that's what's up. And he looked at the flight attendants that was on the plane. And he said, I know this guy from JFK. He's an amazing guy. Very respectful, great gentleman. He's always been this good person. And that made me feel good hearing that. It made me feel good as a man hearing that. That, you know, there's good people out there that appreciate the good that you do, and they would do it back for you. And you would never expect it sometimes, because there's been things I've done for people, and I don't even remember that I did it. But they would tell me years later, Jermaine, you did this for me. Jermaine, you dropped me here. Jermaine, you did that. I'm like, I don't even remember that. But they remember. Because people that appreciate good things that you do for them remember the things that you do for them. So I don't want to make this video too long, but I think this video is very, very powerful. A lot of information in this video. And I'm going to rewatch this video for myself. Because a lot of times I told you, when I make these videos, I'm literally talking to a camera, but I'm literally talking to myself at the same time. Because when I say these things and I go back and watch it, I listen to it, and I'm like, I get motivated from my own videos to be better, to do better, to make changes, to make adjustments. And this video is going to be one of those videos that's going to be very powerful to me because, like I said, I've been doing that for years, being this good person, this good guy, this good man, just to the wrong people. But not in 2025. In 2025, there's going to be a lot of changes for me. Okay? There's going to be a lot of changes. I'm standing my ground on a lot of stuff that I overlooked and things that I thought wasn't a big deal or things that I thought was okay. It's not okay. I'm not overlooking anything. I'm standing my ground. I'm making changes. I'm making adjustments to be better, because if I'm tired of being treated a certain way, then I have to make changes to stop the person from treating me that way. And it's the same thing go for you guys. If you guys have anybody in your life, I don't care who it is, if that person is mistreating you, they don't appreciate you, the way they talk to you, all that stuff, you have to start making changes. Whatever changes you have to make, you do it. Whatever changes you have to make, you do it. You make those changes so you can have a better future. And the crazy part about the way the world works, the way people are, when you start standing up for yourself, when you start setting boundaries and start stopping certain things, the crazy thing, the person start to respect you more. Person start to respect you more. The person start to treat you better. The person start to understand not to cross certain lines because they realize that you've actually put a line now. Before there was no lines, it was blurred. Everything was just blur. Anything could happen. But now you've drawn that line and you said, don't cross this line. And the moment they cross that line, there's consequences for crossing that line. Before, there was no consequences for anything. But now, there is a consequence for crossing that line. And that's something that you can apply for even your kids. Imagine talking to your kids all the time, and you telling them all the time, stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing that. And you tell them, if you do this again, this is going to happen. And every time they do this, this never happens. You don't do what you say you're going to do. You know what happens to the kid? He gets spoiled and he keeps doing what he's doing over and over and over and over because you keep talking with no actions. A bunch of this, but not a bunch of this. And then you say, how did this kid turn like this? Why is this kid like this? You're partially to be blamed because you was trying to set rules and boundaries, but you didn't have consequences for when those rules got broken or those boundaries got crossed. And now this kid is unruly and he do whatever he wants to do because you was too lenient and you was too good of a person. And you see how that works for kids to adults? Now it's time for you to make adjustments. I'm speaking to myself and I'm speaking to whosoever else this resonate with. It's time for you to make adjustments, to start making changes, because changes is not going to happen if you're stagnant, if you're complacent, if you don't make it. You can't. They said it's insanity if you think that you keep doing the same thing over and over expecting a different result. It's insanity if you keep doing the same thing over and over expecting a different result. You cannot expect a different result without making changes. And that goes for health, that goes for wealth, that goes for family, that goes for friends, that goes for stability, whatever you want to think of, kids, whatever you want to think of, that goes for every single thing in your life. If you're doing the same thing over and over, you're going to get the same results. If you want different results, you have to make changes. All right, you already know what it is. Don't want to make this video too long. My goodness, this video is powerful. All right, let me know if this video helped anyone. I'll raise my hand because I know this video is going to help me, because I probably needed this the most. I needed to get this off my chest. This was very important for me to get this off my chest. So I'm going to raise my hand as the first person to say this video has helped me. And I haven't even rewatched it yet. All right, if you guys do like the content, you do like what I said, what I'm saying, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys like, what you don't like. If the video is too long, whatever it is, speak your mind. I'm open to constructive criticism. Subscribe if you like the content. Put a thumbs up, because I would love to get this in the algorithm. I would like to get more people subscribed to the channel so we can help more people. And I would like more people to start sharing. If you think this video can help somebody, share it with them. Share it on your social media, share it on your WhatsApp, share it wherever. Get this video out there, because I think a lot of people can benefit from this video right here and other videos that I made, you know, because I like to go on topics that's, like I said, mainly based on you and what you need to work on. And I think when you work on you, everything gets better around you. So thank you guys. I appreciate I'm at 50 subscribers now, 50, you know, I'm at 50. I'm excited because I can't believe I got to that higher for number so quickly. So I'm proud of where I'm at, and I'm looking forward to where I'm going to get to in the 2025. All right, you already know what it is. Peace.